I had no idea that it could be used as a sleep aid. That's been where it's really come in handy for me. I've used cannabis for sleep, but Amanita has been awesome in terms of dreaming. And that's something, for example, with a lot of cannabis use, people use it to sleep, but they often report that they don't dream when they're consuming a lot of cannabis. That's a pretty well-known in there for a lot of people, well researched and well publicized, but it's kind of the opposite with Amanita muscaria, where it can help you sleep. And I'm speaking purely from my own experience here, but then also will kick off these really incredible dream states. Yeah. And that's the thing that I'm very, very interested in. I've always been interested in dreams and other levels of reality beyond our waking consciousness, where we kind of rationalize and reduce everything to this very socially programmed worldview, if you will, right? Like I wake up and have a pretty standard life. I'm married, I have a kid, I try to get to my desk and work. I probably caffeinate more than I should. So, I'm in a way trying to fit into the matrix to the best of my ability. Now that mushrooms are being embraced, it's a lot easier for me that I can make this. Yeah, I'm still super interested in these kind of altered states of consciousness. But one thing as I get older, like doing a full send on a trip is really intriguing, but it has an energetic tax that comes with it. Like, I'll typically sleep in the next day, half the day. Well, when you have a newborn, you can't really do that kind of stuff. Yeah. So if you can engender these kind of altered states of consciousness through the dream state and still get a full night's rest and wake up and record a podcast at 9 a.m., I'm incredibly in that personally.
For sure. Do you have any like dreams that really stand out that you've had with while working with Amanita?
Yeah, a couple come to mind, right? It's happened more than once, but I'll be in a situation that maybe is someone I've had an altercation with or a challenge in my personal and professional life. And I will be literally mediating with them and talking through it. And then I wake up and I realize I can remember this and I just got the playbook for how I'm going to solve this challenge, And
That's awesome.
I think that be advantageous, where it's like, that's what I want out of an ally with a plant medicine or mushroom. I want actionable solutions to real world challenges. And even be the chillest person in the world, you can't help but run into challenges. Like when you're involved in business and so many things happen at once. And then it oftentimes gets really difficult where you're like, I don't know how to resolve this situation, or I don't know how to do this or that. And I feel like that's happened more than once, where it's sort of been this gift of a conversation. I'm like, wow, that would be a good way to approach this situation. And then lo and behold, you act upon it and you're like, all right, good. We can bury the hatchet on that and move on to more important things.
Yeah. Have you ever tried Silene capensis? Have we sent you any of that?
No, I have not. Never even heard of it.
So that's African dream root, and it's phenomenal when it comes to dreaming. I'm going to send you some today, and yeah, I'm just curious to hear your opinion of it. You just chew a little bit or take a little bit every morning, and then each night the dreams tend to get consecutively more. They're almost more visionary in a sense, and yeah, it's really wonderful medicine. It doesn't alter you at all. You don't notice it at all during the day, but in your dream space, it just like it expands it to an insane degree. It's really cool.
Yeah, I'm super into it. Thank you very much. And, you've got so many different interesting, let's say, alkaloid containing plants. I've long been a psychonaut, and I appreciate also people on your team like Gabe being a very proud, outspoken psychonaut. And I've always wanted to access these different states of consciousness, starting with salvia. That was the first thing that kind of came across my radar because it was pretty obtainable. You could just go down to the gas station near the high school and get it.
Of the good old days.
Yeah, those good old days, right? Psilocybin mushrooms kind of always commanded the most attention for me because probably of the first experiences I had, and always felt a sense of safety and value and clear benefit from more structured use of them. But then there's so many of these other alkaloid containing plants. Like, for example, I've hosted Darren Springer on the podcast. He goes by Darren LeBaron. He spent a lot of time in Africa studying from native traditional healers. And he has been publishing a whole series called Untold Story of Psychedelics in Africa. Also, Mudri Baki, who's one of his co-facilitators, will say they've spent a lot of time over there and talked about in the traditional markets in Africa, all these alkaloid containing plants, where in the West, we don't really know what most of these things are. They have native names. Probably the one you just mentioned is going to be one of them, but they call them like dreaming plants, right? There's like all kinds of them. So, and that's just one part of the world. You look to the Amazon, you look to Asia, every culture has these plants that really help to not just access altered states of consciousness, but improve your baseline state of consciousness. And that's what I'm here for. I'm all about
Yeah.
optimizing with plants and building a relationship with nature.
Yeah, I mean that's really what it's all about. Like the experiences are great. Having intense experiences is important and fun, but it's really all about how we can, I mean, we're in this world, you know, it's about how we can bring those experiences and the lessons that we learn into this reality.